Hey guys, it's me, Ethan. I was just on a run earlier today with my baby, and for one, I know I haven't posted on here very much lately. I'm trying to be better about posting on YouTube. I know I made a New Year's resolution to do one a week, in addition to one podcast and one blog post a week. The blogs I've definitely kept. Podcasts, not so much, and YouTube, definitely not. So I'm trying. But I was thinking, what should I talk about today? I wanted to talk about fame. The other night, I was invited to go speak at this thing, and my friend who invited me to it said, "Hey, my friends want you to come speak at this thing. They want to hear you talk about what it's like being famous." And I was like, oh my gosh. Because for one, I don't really think I was famous. I had a viral video from which the fallout lasted maybe a week. 2 weeks, and then everyone moved on. And then two, it's just kind of funny that that's still how the people who know me perceive me. That same night, actually, a friend of mine came and we were chatting, and it just came up that he's like, yeah, every time my wife and her sister, my sister-in-law, he said every time they see you, they always look at me and they go, "Is that Ethan, the running guy?" And I'm like, I laughed because obviously that's funny, and I enjoy that. I completely do. But at the same time, there was a little part of me that said, is this going to follow me forever? Is this all I am now? And of course that wasn't my friend's intention. Of course he could overthink this and get carried away. And that's not what the point I'm trying to make. I just wanted to say a couple things I was thinking about on my run today in relation to this, and kind of carrying that thought out further, which I feel like our culture has this obsession with celebrity and with famous people. An author I like named Donald Fairbairn wrote that celebrity has kind of replaced the transcendent and the glory, which used to be inhabited by gods in cultures and society, but now we kind of have celebrities instead, who we can watch and follow and devote our time to and essentially worship, And I don't even use quotations for that. We authentically worship these people because we devote so much of our time, resources, money to them, to give it to them, our attention to them. And I guess you don't need a lecture on that. I guess what people are more curious about usually is what it's like to be on the other side of that. And for those of you who are here later who maybe don't know the story, I was in a viral video where I was running with my shirt off in Chicago a couple years ago, and a news crew stopped me, interviewed me, and I mentioned that I was single at the very end of it. By the time I ran home from that little interview, it had 24,000 views. The next day it had 2 million, the next day it had 5 million, and so it just I was in GQ, Time, Cosmo, People Magazine, The Today Show. Ellen DeGeneres invited me on her show, but I couldn't make it, unfortunately. One of my biggest regrets in life. And I don't say all that to brag. I say all that to say I kind of have a very, very, very small taste of what it's like to be on the other side of the camera, or the TV screen, or the iPhone, or the Snapchat. Apparently I was on all over the Snapchat news stories. I don't even know how those work, so I don't have Snapchat. So I think of someone like maybe Haley Joel Osment or Macaulay Culkin, sort of. Those are the first two guys that come to my mind when I think of people who have had their lives kind of tainted or overshadowed by this shadow of fame that's kind of trailed, they kind of peaked early in their life. Say I lived to be 50, I would have peaked in the middle of my life. They peaked when they were kids. Haley Joel Osment is the kid who was in The Sixth Sense, Artificial Intelligence, a couple other movies, but The Sixth Sense was probably his biggest. He was a real cute kid. Then he grew up, and now he just does kind of side gigs, whatever he can get. He's on the Eric Andre show a lot, if you watch that. Just kind of not nearly as much in the spotlight as he once was. Same with Macaulay Culkin, obviously, Home Alone, Richie Rich, all that stuff. And now it's like, where the heck is he? Is he even in movies? I don't know. Let me look on IMDb. So they're real famous. They were famous at a level I'll never be at. I can only imagine what it's like for them to have this peak, and then the rest of your life is like this in comparison. And what that does to you internally is just make you feel like you have done something wrong for decreasing in popularity. Like, if you had done something better, your peak wouldn't have ended here, it would have kept going your entire lifetime. And I think that that's the reason that people like Elvis or Madonna and other people who have, Robin Williams, who committed suicide, or at least have drug problems or alcohol problems, when they're famous, you're like, how could they struggle with those things? They have everything. Everybody loves them. They have money. They could have whatever spouse they want, whatever. Why would they struggle with those things? I think it's because you find that there is no plateau to that hunger inside of you for more and more and more. I, for instance, had millions and millions of views. I have no idea how many because, you know, it was on TV and it was on all this other stuff. The original video has almost 5 million, but you know, like, most people can't say that, and yet I felt like I wanted so much more than what I had, and it never hit that peak the way I wanted it to. You may think, oh man, if I could get 100 likes on a picture, if I could get 200, whatever your goal is, all you're going to do is get there and say, oh, I just want to go here. No, I just want to go here. No, I just want to go here. And it never ends. In my case, I'm about 2.5 years removed from my moment in the spotlight, and so I had a very quick viral spike and then quick drop off, and for a lot of the time in between now and then, I've spent wondering if I had done something differently, would people like me more? Would more people have followed me? Would more people have seen the video? Would more people this, and this? And spent so much energy and time devoted to thinking those thoughts that 28-second clip becomes who I am more than all the other things I had done or felt or experienced in life, really who I was prior to that 28-second video clip. Does that make sense? It's like I'm so much more than 28-second video clip, and yet for the last 2.5 years it's been a battle, getting easier and easier the further out it is, but it's been a battle to say, that's not me, this is me, and then who am I? Let me return to that center. Let me return to who I actually am. Rather than like looking at this high peak moment and saying, I wish I could go back there. I wish I could make that bigger. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that I'm not Macaulay Culkin's or Haley Joel Osment, because that would be terrible to say, man, if when I was 11 or 12 or 13, 14, 15, if I had done something bigger or better or landed better roles or whatever, people would still like me, and you're just tormented by that, and I would hate that. I've wrestled with it enough with my very micro moment in the spotlight. Yeah, interesting stuff to think about. I have many more thoughts on this, but that's just one thought, is that if one of your desires is to be famous, to be in the spotlight, to have that following or that platform, it's hollow and empty and disappointing, even if you're Justin Bieber, even if you're Selena Gomez, the #1 followed person on Instagram who still struggles with mental health and anxiety and depression. Like, obviously these things that we're striving for are going to leave us wanting more, so we should not set our sights on things that are so hollow and empty. That's just my 2 cents. That's a couple thoughts for you to chew on. Let me know what you think in the comments. I do read every single one. I also read when you email me, ethan@ethanrenoe.com. You can check out the website and hit the contact link if that's easier for you. It's ethanrenoe.com. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to continue this conversation further. If you have more thoughts or questions on this topic, I'd love to hear them and maybe answer them in a future video. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you hopefully next week. Bye.